Last Minute Man here with Mr. Obvious once again on the range. What are we doing today, Mr. Obvious?
We are going to go over some fine 22 rifles today. And what is the make and model of these guns?
I think they're the two most popular 22s probably ever made, in my opinion. And that's going to be the Marlin Model 60, the Ruger 1022. And we've also got thrown in here a Marlin lever action. That's a classic.
The old Marlin Model D. That is a classic. That's an old one.
And what do you got here? This is kind of neat.
Yeah, this is a sweet one here. These guns have all been checked, double checked to make sure they're empty. We got the actions locked back on these. This is an old Glenfield. So this is probably the first run. So in Marlin and Glenfield, one bought the other one out years ago. So if you look at the actions, you can see they're basically the same as a Marlin Model 60. And I got this one for Christmas in 1974. So that's how far it goes back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty neat. Now, I never knew this, and Mr. Obvious pointed it out to me. I always thought that was just a Marlin design, but being a child of the 80s,
Yeah.
all I've ever known is a Marlin Model 60. And what is kind of sad, something, a little somber anecdote here. I purchased this thing last year. I bought me and my father each one. And when I bought it, I had this sneaky feeling. I said, I told the lady at Walmart where I bought it, I said, this is going to be the last time you see these that cheap. I got this for a steal. They had it on sale. She said, oh, they're always putting them on sale. And I said, nah, I got a bad feeling. Well, now Marlin no longer exists. And they've been purchased by Ruger, which I think is going to work out excellent. I think we're going to start seeing some excellent lever actions coming out. Ruger's a heck of a company. I'm really excited actually to see those. But right now you're hearing tell that the Model 60 is done because it's a direct competitor to the 1022. And I purchased this one here for my nephew, and it's an excellent firearm as well. These things are built like a tank, like everything Ruger. But I like the traditional Marlins. That's just what I've always, it's kind of like 870 versus Mossberg. To me, the 870 just feels better in my hand. It's just what I like. I own a lot of Mossbergs though. There's nothing wrong with a Mossberg. Just like this, Ruger Marlin, they were both excellent firearms, and I really, really hope Ruger continues to make this Model 60.
I do too. This gun, it's just slim when you pick it up. I like the slim feel of the gun. It's just,
right.
You know, it's like we was talking the other day about, you pick up a Remington 870, you just got that feel. It just feels good.
Something
Same
about
with Brownings, they're slim there. And these guns here, they're great guns. They shoot great. They're, like you say, they're built like a tank, but they got that wide feel like a Glock pistol.
Kind of feels like you're holding onto a brick.
Yeah, they shoot great. Yeah. They shoot wonderful. They're accurate as they can be, but
yeah,
they just got that. I don't like that bulky, wide stock feel. But.
And I fully agree with you on that. Now, I will say these are reliable. I don't think there's anything more reliable than a Ruger. These Model 60s, I've never had a problem out of these. One quirk I'll mention, when you take these apart to clean them, the mainspring in there is actually very, very easy to bend and crimp. You'll mess it up. I've done it, and no matter how many times I take them apart and put them together, sometimes I just got it in a bind and I bent that spring, so I immediately ordered 2 extra ones. So now I've got it fixed, but that's just something, you don't have that issue with the Ruger. I mean, it comes apart a little easier. I think they're a little easier to field strip and clean. But that's just me personally.
Yeah, not like both guns. I mean, I own 2 Rugers, and I own 2 of the Marlin 60s, and I just like both of them.
Yeah,
they're great guns.
Out of 22s, a Ruger is something you can accessorize. I mean, it's like a Barbie doll, guys. Mm-hmm. It's a Barbie doll for men, kind of like an M16 or an AR-15 rather. You can customize these to anything you want. I mean, they do all kinds of neat stuff with these. So that's one thing. If you like to accessorize it, you know, kind of do your own thing with it and make it customized, these are a lot easier to customize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, they don't make as much for the Model 60 in the aftermarket world. But let's show this Marlin here.
Yeah. Well, we show this one, and also we'll show that they done for accuracy on these guns.
Mm-hmm.
They put target crowns on them. And if we could do a close-up on camera and show them kind of how they changed over the years versus the old gun to the newest gun, and this gun here is probably in between these guns. So
right.
This gun's probably 15-year-old.
Okay, you know, let's do that right now. Hang with us. All right, we're back here. Mr. Obvious is going to point this out to us and show us. And this is what's great about having an old timer with you, guys. This is stuff I wouldn't have even thought to talk about. So
we get it going.
He knows his stuff.
It's obvious. I've been around a while.
It's quite obvious.
I'm going to have to start using the obvious word again.
All right.
Anyway, we kind of set these guns in the sunlight here where you can actually see. Last Minute Man can probably get a close-up. We can start with the model Marlin D lever action. So this is the old Marlin. You can see it's kind of rounded on this. Then we come into this gun was made in the early. This probably goes back in the 50s, this gun here. This gun here is in the 70s. So you can see the hit. It's got kind of countersunk a little bit, still rounded. Then they come out with a more target model. And you can see the crown on that. It's actually countersunk back in there and helps protect the riflings and the gases around the bullet on escape. Then we got the new model. They kind of went back to the rounded dome shape. Then it's kind of countersunk back in there. So, you know, that's just kind of copying off the old ones again. So it kind of helps the riflings and it kind of gives it a little bit of a target. It just helps protect the riflings better if you're cleaning your gun. And you don't want to put a burr on that. If you do, you start about getting flyers. Then Ruger, they just flat. Pretty much everyone I see, they're flat with a little bit of a countersink to them. But they still shoot good and accurate, but they got something that will protect the riflings a little bit.
Well, something I think's a little interesting, you know, people, and I'll do a video on this as well, but you always hear the term the Remlin rifle, and that's where Remington had purchased Marlin, and they did have some quality control issues early on from what I read and hear. I can tell you this has been excellent. I think this is just an excellent firearm. I own in lever actions JM stamped original Marlins, as well as having Remlin Marlins. And actually, I've not had an issue with any Remington made Marlin, and I know they're only going to get better with Ruger.
Yeah.
But that was a really interesting thing to point out. Hang with us here. All right, we're back, and we've decided to quit talking and do some shooting. And I'm going to just go over real quick how we're going to do this. Mr. Obvious?
We're probably, we got 2 guns each, Model 60 and a Ruger 1022. So Last Minute Man will shoot a Model 60 and a 1022 Ruger, and I will shoot a Model 60 and a 1022 Ruger accuracy, and we'll probably be shooting steel plate and on paper.
And we'll shoot offhand as well. And see how they do. I'm going to make a prediction that on paper, I think they're both going to shoot a fairly tight group, but offhand, I don't think there's going to be a nickel's worth of difference. And it really comes down to how you feel when you're handling it. Now, I will point something out. Mr. Obvious on both his Ruger and his Marlin is compensating. He has a longer barrel. So I just wanted to point that out, you know.
We like long barrels.
No, but it's...
I go for the accuracy. You like my pistols. I like a long barrel pistol.
Yeah, well, and they are definitely more accurate. The longer the barrel, the more accurate you are. So I just thought that was funny. I wanted to point it out. He has to compensate.
Yeah, well, no. what about the 1022?
Yeah, I'm being funny.
They've got a longer barrel 1022.
Yeah, what is it? What about that? What about that? Look at this here.
Look at this.
Look at this.
Yeah, you know, look at the barrel difference.
You know, it makes me feel small. That's all I'm saying.
You're pretty big guys.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I wouldn't feel too bad.
Well, we're going to get some shooting done here and quick picking on each other, and we'll see what happens. All right, we're back, and Mr. Obvious is going to show us what he's shooting first and what we're shooting at.
Okay, we got the Marlin Model 60 stainless steel with a laminated stock. It does have the target crown, and we're going to do steel targets. We decided we'd do that instead of paper. It's because it's going to be quicker for us to run down with a little paint and put it on there instead of changing targets all the time. So we make it quick. We're going to do five shot groups at 30 yards and 50 yards. Last minute man, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's see what we can do with these critters. Okay, we're gonna go to 50 yards.
All right.
Okay, that's shooting pretty fast, so instead of taking my time, but it's gonna give you a pretty good idea of how accurate they are. You wanna go check out targets?
Yes, sir.
Start the 30-yard target. Like I say, it's shooting kind of fast, so we got about maybe an inch and a half group. Kind of fast shooting. We take our time. We can surely tighten that up, but we're just getting the overall average kind of fast shooting with each gun. So we'll go down to the 50 yard and see what's happening. Okay, here we are at the 50 yards. So we got two here, and one here, probably about maybe 1 3/4 inches. So the group is still pretty tight, so we're still shooting consistent. So what we'll do is grab the Ruger 1022 and do the same thing. Now we got the 1022 Ruger. We're going to do the same thing. 5 shot on the 30, 5 shot 50, and we'll see what the Ruger will do.
All right, Mr. Obvious.
Okay, we got one to pipe, ready to roll. 2 3 shot groups. Okay, we're gonna go to the 50.
All right.
Okay, empty.
Walk down and check them out.
So here we are at the 30 with the 1022 Ruger. And you can see we're still about 1.5 inch group, pretty close to the same. Got 2 here, and 1 here. So now we will go down to the 50 yard and see what we got down here. Here we are at the 50 yard. And again, we got about 2 shots here, 2 shots here, 1 here. So we're overall about 1.5 3/4 inch group. Same with the Marlin Model 60. Now again, I am shooting Remington, I think it's Cyclone ammunition. So it's not the best of, it's just planking ammunition. That's what we used out of both rifles for the test. And they are hollow points, so accuracy is, as you can see, they ain't like last minute man says, they ain't a plug nickel's worth of difference in the accuracy of the rifles. What I see off sandbags, fast shooting, without actually putting a scope on it and getting real fine with details. So we'll go back up and let's see what last minute man does. All right, we're back and we have last minute man at the trigger.
All right.
So what are you doing first?
We're going to start out with the Marlin. I'm going to shoot the same thing, 5 shots on the 30, 5 shots on the 50. And then for the interest of time here and redundancy, I'll just go ahead and grab the Ruger and do the same thing, and then we'll walk down and check the targets.
All righty, let's see what you can do.
All right. Start with the 30. All right. Go down here to 50. Had a misfire.
Had a misfire. Uh-oh.
All right.
That's common for 22 ammo. So.
Unfortunately. Well, I'm out of ammo on that. So,
You want
All
to throw
right.
2 more in it, or
no, we're good. We'll roll with that.
roll with that?
Now
All
I'll
right.
take the 1022. You can see that shot a little low down there.
That looks like a pretty good group.
We'll go with the 1022. All right.
You want to just shoot same targets?
Same targets.
All right. You want to hold just to the right or to the left this time? Or?
I'm going to aim at the bottom this time just to see a different pattern in the group.
Okay.
All right.
30 yard.
Ready?
Ready.
I was shooting over it.
Shooting over it?
I was trying to shoot high.
All right.
All right, let's go down and check them. Real quick, I wanted to show something that is very common with 22s, and that is even though I hit the rim, it did not fire.
All right. Here we are with last minute man's results.
All right, now with the Marlin, you can see I'm shooting a little more accurate. Of course, we're not taking our time. We're just wrapping them off here. But you can see Marlin, I shot a pretty decent group there. And with the Ruger, shooting a little more wild, but it was also shooting to the right. And I knew that it was printing right before I started shooting. So I knew that we'd get a little separation there. But all right, let's move on down to the 50. All right, now this was a surprising result to me. Not with the Marlin. I kind of figured I'd be shooting a tight group with the Marlin. And it did shoot a tight group. Now, the Ruger, on the other hand, I was trying to aim high and to the right on it, but it went way higher than I thought, printed way higher. So I actually overshot all but 2 times on that. But yeah, you never know when you jump from one rifle to the other or one ammunition to another, you can get radically different results. But today, I'm a lot more accurate with my Marlin than I am the Ruger. But that's just me. All right, Jack, let her rip. We gotta let him shoot.
Yeah.
All right, now this wouldn't be a last minute man video if we didn't just go wear these targets out and try to hit that 100-yard target as well. But we're gonna be shooting offhand, and we've each chosen our favorite rifle. Mine happens to be the Marlin Model 60.
That's what I got. Marlin Model 60.
So, not that we're biased or anything, but we're gonna let Mr. Obvious rock and roll first here. Let it rip.
All right, I'm gonna put a few rounds on the 50 yard and go out to the 100.
All right.
Righty.
The rifle you can load on a Sunday and shoot all week, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta
Well,
love
let's see how I fare with this. Oh, all right. Hit some, you miss some. But, all right, here we are just having a good time out here on the range, doing what we do best and having fun with it. So this has been Last Minute Man with Mr. Obvious, letting you know to keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
and subscribe to Last Minute Man. Give us some thumbs up. We'll see you on the next one.